welcome to episode 4 of the Fun Time Podcast. Or is it episode 3, Ross?
It's 4.
Okay, it's 4. We had episode 4 a few days ago, but it was lost in the ether of the internet.
Yep. Actually, no, that's not true. I really fucked up the recording and didn't record myself.
Yeah, but life goes on.
What is going on with... why is... What the... My controls are fucked. My, like... Dude, what the hell happened? Inventory is E?
Yeah.
What's use?
Right click.
Oh, right click. Wow, I've been playing this other game and now... Oh, shit! And I almost died. I've been playing this other game and my controls are completely fucked. Let's cut all that shit out. I forgot how to play Minecraft.
That's hilarious. I don't think we should cut that out. That's par for the course.
I guess so. I was playing 7 Days to Die or something like that, or 7 Days to Live. I can't remember which it is. But yeah, it's back to like where E is used for everything and not inventory. And I'm getting on Minecraft. I'm like, why am I opening up my inventory trying to get into a fucking minecart?
Oh, hey, are you bringing diorite?
Yeah, I'm just
bring a saddle and horse armor if you want.
Oh, you got a spare horse for me?
I got a couple.
Are we gonna go adventuring?
We won't use the horses, but the horse will be here for you to take when you leave.
Boost. I need a lead too. I've got one. I think I've got one.
I say. So, what were we talking about? The security company again?
So, nothing. We were talking nothing about it.
All right. We'll keep it kosher.
Nothing. Yeah. So the apparently up here in oil capital of Canada, there's tons of layoffs and stuff happening right now.
I bet.
With as everyone knows, the low price of oil, so it's affecting a lot of people. But I'm positioning myself to work with a company that doesn't really matter because by law they have to service the tailing ponds. So.
Oh, that's sweet.
Exactly. Whether it's no matter what the conditions are in the economy, it's required service. So you're pretty much immune to any fluctuation in the price of oil and gas.
Yeah, that's great.
Which is kind of what I was thinking about. I'm like, well, I need to position myself so this stuff doesn't affect me at all.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what I did.
That's amazing. That's actually I was actually thinking about something similar to that, where with all the permaculture stuff I've been learning about. If I, approach a company, or if there is already companies that quote-unquote services, all the environmental catastrophes that we're leaving in our wake in the oil fields, I would say, listen, give me a budget. I'm a guy that can grow food, farm-wise, but I can modify it so that this is a more like a recovery operation.
Yeah, restoration.
Where all the plants that I use are these like weeds that just suck up everything poisonous from the dirt, and then it looks like a lush landscape again, and no longer a barren wasteland.
Yeah. And
and I was thinking that would be very interesting to some companies where they're like, that will help us with our public relations. Pretty much everything is public relations now.
It is for sure. I don't know where my diorite is. I don't know if I have any. It might be down in my old mine shaft. Let me take a look.
You know what? That's fine. Actually, I found a couple spares in my chest.
What I do have
is just
like,
get a saddle.
What I do have is like 10 stacks of TNT. We could fuck around with that. I'm gonna grab a couple because it's fun. Saddle.
I'll be honest. I raided your base looking for saddles.
Did you?
There were no saddles, unless you keep them in a secret place.
It was in the chest with a sword next to it. Lol. Okay, I'm gonna grab some boots because I don't have any armor, and I need a bow too. Power 2. Yeah, sure. Why not? Do you need arrows or anything like that?
No.
I literally have a large chest full of arrows.
No, I still have your infinity bow from when you gave it to me, so I've just been using that.
Oh, I might need that back soon since I lost all of that.
I thought it was mine now.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Ross,
I think I'm not too concerned about it, so you can just keep it for now.
I thought you gifted it to me. I mean, not originally, but by virtue of me having it for so long.
For so long, it's
Like,
just,
I've been
like you're a
squatting.
squatter. That's exactly what I was gonna say. What, like you're a squatter on my bow? Whoa, awkward.
Speaking of
I have a
squatters,
sailor.
there was a a news article where this former hedge fund CEO, him and his family were just like arrested and removed from this $1 million house in I don't know, in the Hamptons, somewhere in the States.
Yeah.
It was on Zero Hedge, so obviously they had like a funny slant. They're like, obviously this recovery is not very good for some people. Anyways, the guy was basically like removed from the office because it was just like a fraudulent operation. And yeah, so basically he moved his family into this house that was for sale, and they were like squatting and stuff, and they even like contacted the neighbors to like organize a like a meet and greet and stuff. But then the real owner showed up, the guy that's selling it, and he's like, "The fuck are you doing?"
Yeah. Wow. So were they squatting that multi-million-dollar house, or was that
Yeah.
just like from a fraudulent activity that they like seized it as an asset?
No, they just kind of pretended they were moving into it.
Sweet.
Yeah, but they were removed like within days because the owner found out.
Yeah. He's like, what the fuck? Yeah, because I'm sure the neighbors were probably like, "Hey, Jeff, we didn't know you were moving." It's like,
Yeah.
I didn't. Oh.
Well, it
Well,
was
we're talking to Steve here, and he just moved in.
it was actually for sale though.
Oh, fair enough. I guess that's a good little cover. Still kind of illegal though, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Can't hate him for trying. The actual owner can though, I guess.
Yeah. And probably does.
Probably does.
So, anything else?
What were I was just trying to think before we started it there. What was it we were talking about? We're like, oh, we should say this for the podcast, but we didn't.
You cut out.
Did I? Am I good?
Yeah,
now?
I didn't hear anything.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good. How about now?
Shut up. What were we talking about?
I was saying, what were we talking about before we started the podcast? We're like, oh, we should actually save this for the podcast, but whatever. We started talking about it. I don't remember at all.
Just security stuff.
Fair enough. Cool. Yeah. So, what did you mentioned? You had some. You're like, oh, I've got some good topics to talk about with stuff that's going on with you right now. Something like that.
Yes. Let me
Information.
find the thing right now.
Pull up an article.
That was just an interesting video. It was like on like living. It was like the warrior's code, but it wasn't so much like a warrior's code. The way you like think about it. It's just living your life like a honorable person.
Mm-hmm. No one wants to do that though. Let's be real.
I do.
What
I do.
what you mean?
I think it makes you
I
a
know,
better,
I'm kidding.
more attractive person.
Visually? What is this? Oh, that's cool.
I'm
Like,
kind of improving. I'm going to move all the chests from the surface into that little workshop area.
cool. I like the design.
Yeah,
so far.
so
Pretty
I
cool.
found out that you can take diorite or granite
make it
or
polished.
andesite and make it polished. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it looks not bad.
That's what
started-
that giant statue is made out of. It's polished andesite.
Started farming a bit, so you can take any one of
Holy
the
cow, man.
black horses or whatever. I've been breeding horses, so I'm the horse breeder of the channel now.
There you go.
So
Where's the breeder, Marius? Oh, can I get this white stallion? Look at this.
he's too young.
unicorn
You
on
can't mount him yet.
Oh,
Oh wait,
mount him.
wait, you can. I'll let you break him later. Anyways,
Can't I break him now?
well, fine.
Come on, buddy. Show me some love.
So let's go for a walk and go to the Ocean Palace.
Wait, we must
I
break
pretty
it
much destroyed it, the Ocean Palace.
Did you?
Yeah.
Let me break him so I can put his, There we go. Oh, buddy. How the frick do I, But I just right-click with the saddle on him, right?
No, you.
Oh, there
you
we go.
Get
Yeah.
on him. Oh yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Check him out.
Wow. Look at you coming up to show me up with your diamond horse armor.
Diamond horse armor. With a gold... does that make the saddle look gold? I think it does. Yeah.
Hey, I owe you this because I borrowed it from you.
What is this? A sponge.
That's
Oh,
the
cool.
the dry sponge that like sucks up 9 water blocks.
Yeah.
And then
you
it becomes-
and then you just bake it, and then it
Yeah.
evaporates.
Yeah. So I use that. Okay, let's go now.
Let's go. Oh, I will need a boat.
Oh yeah, I don't have one either.
We can just chop down some trees. Actually, I don't have an axe either. I had
I'll do
nothing
it.
because I died
I'll do it.
2 times in a row.
Yeah, that's right. You lost everything.
I scrubbed out hardcore. Can you make two boats for me? Because, oh wait, you probably got some wood in here, don't you?
Here's a boat.
Two, because whenever we land, they always break for some reason. I don't know why on the server, but they just, perfect. The boats just explode on impact.
Yeah, they're made of glass or something.
Yeah.
Glass boats.
Glass houses sink ships.
Shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house.
That's right.
Shouldn't talk shit if you got a glass jaw.
Oh, snap. Booyakasha. Brrrah. Oh, there's another portal up there.
Yeah. I guess you know what? Let's actually take it. I built
No.
another portal to get there super quick.
Oh, does it work?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
I was just thinking we could take this way so you can like start from the top, but this way we'll start from the middle. We'll check out the top and then we'll go down into the bottom area.
I'm confused. Did you go through? Where? Oh, there you go.
Also, I kind of from your base, I've been trying to lure. Get out of here! Been trying to lure pigmen into the Nether portal near your base, so that when you load the game, there's a bunch in your bedroom.
You're a dick.
That was pretty funny though.
Fair enough. That's pretty good.
I gotta eat.
So, I was telling you about I don't know if I had mentioned it that I was actually trading, but there was an altcoin, Paycoin, that they had a really beautiful website. You know, everything looked really good.
Paycoin?
I honestly didn't read up on them much at all. Yeah, Paycoin. But what kind of got my attention was the amount of volume they had on Bittrex for trading. Like they were at the top of volume for trades on Bittrex for like a week and a half, and their price was very volatile. It was going up a lot. It was coming back down and coming back up a lot. So I made some trades on it. I did pretty well. I think I profited like probably $200 overall on it.
Yep.
And then it has now crashed completely.
Oh.
It was a pump and dump. Like
So did you lose
hardcore
anything?
pump and dump. No, okay, what the fuck? I can't get out. I
Oh,
have
whoops.
to climb on the thing. Yeah, there we go.
Right. So follow me. I'll help you get your bearings.
So you use your sponge and just suck all the water out
Yeah,
of this
it,
entire
it,
place.
it took me a couple podcasts to get through this. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I was
I
listening
could
to
imagine.
some interesting things and then working on it.
Yeah.
It really sucked because I would have and I brought a bunch of milk. So that was my other secret is it wasn't so much the fact that I was just sucking things up. It was the fact that I couldn't break it once I put it in, right? Because of the mining fatigue.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So anyways, I just kept working my way down, and I found out that if you drink milk, it removes any status effects.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah. So I
How do you
brought
get milk?
just bucket cow.
Bucket cow. Right on.
Yeah. And so I kept drinking. I would drink milk. I would quickly break it, try to bake it if I could, and then I'd get mining fatigue on me again. Sometimes I was lucky; I could get 2 or 3. Anyways, so just kind of go through it, find the dudes, and kill them. I think they're all dead. There's only 3 per whatever.
Jeez, what are all these bricks made out of? Like these white ones, what are they?
Yeah, you can break it, but they're a light source. Oh, and do you have Silk Touch?
Oh, sea lantern, cool.
Do you have Silk Touch?
Yes, I do.
Because if I break it, it becomes that.
What's that? I keep hitting I from my inventory. Prismarine crystals. Oh, cool.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of shit in here that is pretty interesting. Like
Yeah.
use it to, I don't know. I haven't looked at any of the material in here about what you can build with or not, but that's
New maps
that's
though.
the thing so far.
Were there any treasure chests or anything like that? Like, did you get any super
No.
loot, bruh?
No, just the sponge. Just the sponge. Anyways, let's try to sponge some shit up.
Oh, I just did.
Well, you gotta bake it.
Yeah, but it didn't really work because I sponged up where the water was pouring into,
Oh,
and then it just like
scrub.
came over top again. So. Wet sponge.
Alright, so the thing about the warrior code. Wait, were you done talking about what you were saying? Clearly, our speaking ability has gone
Our
down.
speaking ability does fail quite a lot. Man, I can't even remember what I was talking about. Sure, let's say I was done.
Okay,
The
so
warrior.
this warrior code thing. So
Warrior!
there's eight bits to it, and why don't I just read one, and then we'll talk about it, and then move on.
Okay.
So the first one is oh, let me kill this guy. That's not the first one, by the way.
The first one is, let me just kill this guy. Oh,
What about
that is
justice?
deep.
So number one, honesty and justice. Be
Mhm.
acutely honest throughout your dealings with all people. Believe
Amen.
in justice, not from other people, but from yourself. To the true warrior, there are no shades of gray in the question of honesty and justice. There is only right and wrong.
Amen.
I was thinking about it. It's like, is if I was thinking about explaining it to somebody, they're like, well, what if you have to lie to somebody to like help them out or something like that, or it's one of those things where you lie to somebody to help someone else out, but it's like you're not actually hurting the person that you're lying to, something like
Yeah,
that,
a white
something
lie.
great. And it's like I was thinking the simplest way to break it down is if it requires for you to lie or just do something negative to someone else to benefit somebody, no matter how like small that lie is, it's wrong.
Yeah, you're still lying to someone.
You shouldn't turn anyone into, like, in the words of UFC, a stepping stone.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was something that I joked about with my friends when I was hanging out with them to watch UFC like on a monthly basis. Is in the pre-fight, those amp
Stepping
up,
stones.
yeah, stepping stones,
Yeah.
and Goldberg always says coming up next.
Yeah. Coming up next. Did you watch? You wouldn't happen to have watched the UFC last night?
No, but I got the results. I'm pretty choked.
About that DC lost?
Yeah, because I like Dan, but I'm also like obviously John Jones is one of the greatest martial artists in history, right? Like there's
Yeah.
no question about that. But it's like, what the hell's up with the eye poke?
Yeah, that's just his. I know. I mean, like it's his style, but the thing is that he's done it so often, where it's like
Yeah,
I don't know
and
how,
it's not
and
being
how can they
addressed.
regulate that. I
It's
know,
not.
and
I know they can't really regulate it, but it's like it's not being addressed by.
the
you know,
commission or
they're kind of
UFC.
quiet about it because
Yeah.
John Jones is a moneymaker for them.
Yeah, but it is a huge issue because it's like every fight now he's
Yeah.
poking someone in the eyeball,
Yeah.
and it's constantly happening. It's like the whole thing about the gloves is another interesting point though, where they could rectify a lot of it by just changing the glove type.
How?
Basically by putting in like a more of a curvature into the glove, so it's really hard to flex your hand open all the way. So it's kind of curved like a paw, and extend the glove so that it's kind of a little bit rounded, and it kind of sits over top. Like I think
That's interesting.
Pride gloves were like that. Like Pride gloves were they had a lot more coverage on the hand, so you could still grapple and stuff. Because a lot of the grips that you're doing when you're in jiu-jitsu or whatever, if you're doing any grappling, you're using an S grips or gable grips, and like you don't need finger dexterity too much. I mean, it's besides, and with that, like with the gloves on anyways, you can actually get a lot better grips anyways when you're trying
Right.
to do your chokes, because
Right.
instead of having sweaty, slippery palms, you've got this like leather glove that you can actually grip into and really hold on to it. So, I mean, that's one option that they could do to try and fix it. But I mean, it's definitely a problem because it keeps happening. And people have, I think, I don't remember if it was Mike Bisbing or who it was. Someone had a major, like, their eye got messed up really badly. Yeah, where they had to go into surgery, and I think they've lost some of their visibility in their eye because of it. Like, it's not good. It's something that should be addressed, and probably could easily be addressed too. So, I don't know.
It's true. So John Jones's style, the style in question is where he uses his incredibly long hand to like just blind the person, just puts it in their face.
Yeah, so it's basically when you're getting your, it's not necessarily to blind their face, but what he's doing is keeping his distance. So he's like in boxing, you're just throwing jabs all the time, right? You're jab. You're keeping your range. You're feeling where your opponent is. You're keeping your range out there. He kind of does that, but he just kind of sticks his hand out there because he has a ridiculous, like he had a 12-inch reach advantage over Daniel Cormier. That's a foot reach advantage. That's ridiculous.
Huge.
So I mean, he can get his hand out there, and as long as he's kind of ready on his toes, so he can back off, he can basically keep it out there without worrying about getting hit. Boxing, you can't really just hold your arm out there because the guy's just gonna. They have a lot closer reach advantage where it's maybe like a 2 to 4 inch difference. So it's going to be a lot different situation. With him, he's just got a ridiculous reach advantage over everyone. Yeah, I got it. So he can kind of do that, but that's where the problem is when he fucking stabs people in the eyeball. Like,
I like how you use the word stab.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, it's like who did he fight last time and same thing happened? He's stabbing them in the eye. It's like you can't.
Against that Mexican guy, and there was that one like slow mo where like his finger was literally just, like 5 inches inside.
Gushed into his eyeball. Yeah, it's like that's not
into his eye socket.
Yeah,
it was fucked.
That was when he was that against Cain Velasquez. No, they're in a different weight category, aren't they?
No, not Cain Velasquez, but it was some Mexican guy.
Okay, that's very appropriate. I don't know, some Mexican guy.
Some Mexican guy, probably illegal.
Oh wow. He went there on the podcast. It's a joke, people. Calm your shit. Fuck. I was talking to my buddy Matt at the fights yesterday, talking about some of the comedy specials that have been out, or the new ones that have been coming out and stuff. And where are these guys spawning from, man? They're flopping around on the ground.
They just spawn in the water. They just spawn in the water.
Okay.
They spawn everywhere, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to make a monster spawner where I just build it out of this stuff and put some water in it. See if they spawn.
Good call. That'd be pretty cool. You get those prismarine shards or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were talking about some of the new comedy specials that came out, and Joe Rogan's one, Rocky Mountain High, and it was so funny because one of the bits he does, he's talking about like just, you know, shit he says that it's, and you know, people shit that he says comedians are saying, where there's these bloggers who take this shit way too seriously and are getting super offended about it, and they go home and write a fucking blog post bitching and whining about like, oh, these people are so terrible. It's like, it's a fucking comedy show. Like, no one means this stuff. Like, it's just a joke. So he did this whole bit kind of where he's talking about that. He's like, just calm the fuck down, people, okay? It's a joke. And then he goes on talking about his wife, like something about raping his wife or something. Like, it's just beautiful. Beautiful the way he lined it up. Oh man, it was really funny. Yeah, it was funny stuff. I find it ridiculous how seriously people take things. It's like,
you know what? It's
man, relax.
It's kind of, to me, it's a testament to, I mean, it's not so much that people are like, oh my god, they feel strongly about this issue. I mean, they do, but it's not because they looked at the situation and analyzed, okay, what's this situation in your life? What's the situation that he's talking about? What's the situation that I feel? You know what? It's none of that. It's just they're watching it on TV. They think it's a situation that, you know, they want to be a part of, and it's like they just want to be part of the group.
Yeah, they just
is really all it is all about.
They want someone to hear their voice because they don't have the ability to go and have an actual intellectual conversation with someone. So they just
Have their own opinion.
they just try and rip on someone. They try and catch them saying something and like manipulate it so that they can make someone out to look bad or look differently, and then they get this sick satisfaction from the fact that they're trying to.
Sick satisfaction.
It is. It's disgusting. Where they get their voice heard because they have no talent themselves, so they have to fucking try and sabotage someone's career when like they're comedians. Holy fuck! How can you take what comedians say to be like 100% truth and like their prime principles of life? Like no, it's God. People just breathe.
Well, yeah, it's also. Relax. You know what? If you look at the situation critically, it's becoming one of those situations where, like, you know how you're not allowed to make, or you know, unless you're like Jewish, you're not allowed to make jokes about Jews or the Holocaust or something like that.
Yeah, it's like the privilege. Check your privilege.
They're using the same like rationale / excuse to just control what people say.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's not indicative of a very democratic society, in all honesty.
Well said. Where
let's move on to number 2 in that 8-part warrior code.
Yes, let's continue.
Okay, so number 2. Polite courtesy. Warriors have no reason to be cruel. They do not need to prove their strength. A warrior is courteous even to his enemies. Without his outward show of respect... Oh, you got the... achievement delicious fish.
Yeah,
congrats.
Sorry. I took your fish. I take your fish.
Yeah.
Then I make no money.
Without this outward show of respect, we are nothing more than animals. A warrior is not only respected for his strength in battle, but also by his dealings with other men.
Boost.
What do you think that means?
It means don't be a dick. There's no reason to.
Yeah, like...
Pretty much, don't be a dick.
Pretty much.
I don't know. How else could you interpret that? I feel the exact same way. I never like to get into altercations with people because there's no point.
Yeah,
like
it's like the extreme example would be like a 13-year-old beating up a 6-year-old.
Yep. I guess. If you want to go to that extreme level.
Well, but, it's what we're talking about, but a very extreme
that's
example.
Very extreme, yeah. Well, altercations in general, like I avoid them as much as possible. I think it's pretty ridiculous. It doesn't prove anything. I think it proves you have more to prove by exactly doing that, is to just ignore any of those types of altercations. That probably makes you would prove you to be a better person, a better human being than it would to be able to beat someone up, like over what, or some stupid discussion, or and again, it could be someone said something, you said something, and someone took offense to it in the wrong way, the way that you didn't intend for it to be made. Yeah, and it's I've had that happen to me in Victoria, outside of
I remember
that pizza place where I have no idea what's going on. This guy is just coming at me full on, and I managed to kind of stop it and get away from it, try and just settle down, or walked away, and then come back, shake his hand, it's all good, and then within a few minutes he's right back in my face, pushing me and calling me out for something I have no idea what I did. And I tried to apologize many times, and it got to the point where I'm like, alright, okay, this is alright, fine, if this is what you want to do. So
yeah.
And I took care of
business
accordingly. Yeah.
Lol. Yeah, that guy was just a goon.
Yeah.
And it's not even about like necessarily fighting and like proving your strength like with a fight. It could be like just in a discussion. Like some people, like Alan, just want to be right all the time.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, and won't engage in proper discussion. And that's one thing that I really, it's almost one of my pet peeves. Really, now it is, where people have this weird urge that what they say is right, and there's no change about it. It's like, well, is this not open for discussion? They just block everything off. It's like, well, how can I just can't understand that.
Because you know what, you just think about it this way, it's not about them being right about that fact, it's just they have to be right about something to gain some sort of like strength, because they don't want to appear weak. And it's
an
about
insecurity.
It's fear, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's really weird.
we just hyper analyzed, the shit out of people's weaknesses in
Pretty much.
society.
I honestly, that's how I feel it is. I mean, there's always the joke where like, like, oh, this douchebag, like, oh, he's probably compensating for something or whatever. It's like, no, but it's a lot of it is insecurities. This person probably isn't very confident in themselves for some reason, so they have to bully people or whatever, get into altercations with people because they think that it shows strength.
Yeah,
And,
actually,
and, and it's like it's
I
a
just
cover up. And
I just noticed that a lot of times when I'm thinking about like bullies that I knew growing up, like there were a lot of like cool
my
people.
brother, what?
There are a lot of like cool people. Oh, we're out of coal.
Yeah.
I'll just use some wood for now. There are a lot of people in the cool crowd that were like normal and nice, and there were like the bullies always seemed to be just like messed up, like they
Yeah.
had a shitty family life.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just so obvious now that I'm like older.
Yeah, exactly. Now your point. I'm like, wow, we should have felt sorry for you. Like, you're the problem child, but like and they turn it around on people. They make other people feel like the problem child.
Yeah.
Like how many people have committed suicide because they couldn't bear going to school another day, and like because they were just in complete and utter fear of getting harassed and getting pushed around, getting bullied at school. And it's usually one or two individuals that are solely responsible for it. And yeah, I bet you if you analyze what's going on with their life, even if they're one of like the popular or like wealthy kids or whatever, you know what? I bet there's a lot of issues in their home life. Like it may not just be trying to control like their social status. They may have their parents may be constantly fighting or something. Like there's so many cofactors that could play into it.
Yeah.
For the reason why people act like douchebags sometimes.
Yeah. I think we need to go get some coal.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, let's go to my little mini base. We can find some coal here.
We could just mine some, yeah.
Oh, actually, there's a little mining shaft that I found nearby inside this
Oh, okay.
this ocean palace.
Dungeon.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Number 4.
Oh, but we have. Oh, wait, there's a bunch of coal
Here
here.
we go.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
We need torches, mostly.
Yeah, if you want to mine that, because I got self-touch, so there's no point in
Oh yeah.
me
All
mining
right,
this.
so
I forgot I had
number 3.
self-touch.
Heroic courage. Rise up above the masses of people who are afraid to act. Hiding like a turtle in a shell is not living at all. A warrior must have heroic courage. A warrior must have heroic courage. It is absolutely risky. That seems like a misspell. It is dangerous. It is living life completely, fully, wonderfully. Heroic
okay.
courage is not blind. It is intelligent and strong.
Yep. Boost. I totally agree with that. That's it's funny. I mean, I don't want to sound like a dick here, but you're listing all this stuff off, and I just keep thinking of myself.
You don't sound like a
Just kidding.
dick. You sound like an ass.
You don't sound like a dick. You sound like an asshole.
Here,
Oh, okay.
I'll
Yeah,
give
there's
you-
more over here.
I'll give you this coal. You go.
I'll
you
go.
go in.
Yeah, I'll keep going on. Oh, did I pick it up? No, that's another good one too, and it's kind of like what I've been doing for the last few years, trying to get this company going. That's something that kind of I've committed myself to, and it's a huge risk. It's been a huge risk. Instead of going and getting a safe job and a safe career, and
Yeah.
go work for someone in a safe environment. It's like, fuck no, I put myself out there to go and try and make something happen.
Yeah.
And it's and people need to do that. Same thing with you and me right now with this podcast. We're putting ourselves out to the public for what for whatever I'm completely blanking on my words here. For whatever will happen with this, I mean, we're putting ourselves out there, and people could criticize us as much as they want, but hey, you know what? We're doing something that's kind of fun, and we're enjoying it, sharing our opinions. If you don't like it, fine, fair enough. Doesn't mean that we're gonna give up or just stop doing something that's really fun. So
Yeah, and if your modus operandi is to go out and like harass
modus
people
operandi. Very
for your
nice.
MO,
Yep.
it's your MO is to go out and harass people because you disagree with their viewpoint. You have no life.
Yeah.
Like, not just no life, you have like a negative life. Like the anti-life is what you have.
Yeah. build some stairs getting out of this place.
I like how at the end they say it's not blind, it's intelligent and strong. It's it kind of just says you're not here to like just be reckless and just go balls out without without being like not careful, but without considering what you're doing.
Yeah, you're being rational. You're calculating what's going on and making a decision on what's what your actions would be, what you choose to do.
Hey, did you leave that sponge in here?
I just put 2 of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me that
I'm
back.
the sponge master. Oh, okay. Oh. Can you repeat that?
Heroic courage.
Repeat that one. Yeah, that second one again.
Rise up above the masses of people who are afraid to act. Hiding like a turtle in a shell is not living at all. A warrior must have heroic courage. It is absolutely risky. It is dangerous. It is living life completely, fully, wonderfully. Heroic courage is not blind. It is intelligent and strong.
Yeah, which also goes back to that constant theme of sheeple.
Fear.
Well, also sheeple, where no one, if you don't want to step up and be responsible for your own actions and do something you want to do, you'd rather, sit by and watch someone else do it, or, because you're afraid of taking action and making a choice to do something.
Yeah,
So,
and it boils down to fear. I think, like, our society, it's pretty fearful.
Yeah.
I don't think it's by accident, though. I think it's kind of been designed for us to be,
to be afraid.
Well, yeah. I mean, we are kind of raised in a society where, like, oh, if you have a problem, well, call the teacher. You have a you have a robber, call the police. We don't deal with our own
Don't deal
problems.
with it yourself. Call someone else.
Yeah.
Diffusion of responsibility.
Yeah, and actually, I read an interesting article. Diffusion of responsibility. It pretty much is.
Sort of. Ooh,
This article was
I think I
talking
found
about.
like the epicenter of this thing. There's like these weird yellow bricks. I have no idea what they are.
Oh, show me. Because if they're
Block of gold.
really,
Yeah, there's like blocks of gold.
Where are you?
Okay, where we've been. Where we were like sucking out that room or sponging out that room. Yeah. Oh yeah, right here. Okay, so go up and then just to the left. Like you have to get through. There's tons of mobs here. It's kind of hard to get through.
anyways, this article that I saw, it was saying that we have an entire generation of people that don't know how to fix their own like not problems, but they don't know how to fix like appliances or their computers or their like phones.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was talking about how everything's disposable pretty much. So if something's broken, it's cheaper for them to just go and buy a new one.
Yeah. There you go. Up over here.
Oh, nice. Let's leave some of this.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to mine it all?
I kind of do, because it's blocks of gold. That's a lot.
Well, I get some. Oh shit! I'm about to die. Holy fuck!
That was weird. It's like a 2x2. Oh, sorry. We can split up later. It's not.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah, that's fine. I got
shit.
you. I got you. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stay here for a bit and let my health come back.
Cool.
AFK.
Okay. So, in the middle of the podcast, Mars decides to go AFK. That's fine. I've been doing trading. I was talking to Mars about it. I was doing trading on the alt market, and that's pretty fun. It's kind of you can lose money though, but it's kind of fun. I want to keep experimenting in that, and I don't know, keep about a Bitcoin or two in the alt currencies, and at least on my trading account, so I can keep playing around with them because it is pretty fun. But yeah, so far I've done pretty good. What I've actually done as well is purchased a lot of Hyper. Hyper's been steadily increasing. I mean, it dips down and dips up a little bit. It had a weird spike the other day. It basically doubled in price. almost like overnight. It was really weird. There wasn't a ton of volume though, so I mean it wasn't very liquid, and that's the other thing, right? People look at pricing of altcoins and it doubles.
Have you
and
been
then
talking to him this whole time?
I have. I've been keeping people entertained because
Oh,
you
okay.
just left. So I was talking about trading, and also with just I want to keep about a Bitcoin in there just to keep playing around with it.
Yeah.
But also with Hyper, how it's been steadily, climbing in value, plus your 5% monthly yields on it, which is pretty solid.
Yeah.
They just got a new wallet release. Their website is completely remade and updated. It looks really nice now.
Sweet.
And there's that weird hiccup that happened was that a couple days ago, where it literally doubled overnight. But I was just saying that how it's funny when a lot of, when altcoins or whatever, when they'll go up. Like I was watching, I always watch on Bittrex. You'll see some of them that are like up 260%. You're like, holy crap! Like what's happening with this coin? You take a look at it though. The volume, like yeah, okay, it's increased that much, but the volume for that day is like less than a Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're talking about 260% on like $50. Like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just really not much. Then again, 200% on $50. Hey, you just made
This way we get to the little center area from the bottom
okay.
rather than from the top. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure, you just made some money, but when you're trying to trade, when you're trying to buy and get in, depending how much you're playing with, then it is also another factor, I guess.
Yeah.
I like to put in a decent little chunk of money because I don't know. I just find that you can get some better yields, especially if something's looking like it's going to have a pretty good return for whatever reason it is. But I mean, I don't know. I just kind of step up to the plate and put a good chunk in, and I've done fairly well. Because the other thing too with the altcoins,
I got the other sponge.
Did you? Okay. The other thing too with trading with the altcoins is that there is a ton of volatility, which means that it can go up a lot and it can also go down a lot. So I feel so much more comfortable looking for 10 to 20% margins, because the beautiful thing is that I can trade $100 and get, say 20%, and my transaction fees overall are pennies. Like it's nothing. Trading, if you actually are on a trading account and you've got a small amount of money that you're trying to trade with, all of your return is gonna get eaten up just in the transaction fees.
The spread from the exchange.
Oh, yeah, like with Quest Trade, it's I think it's like $5 a trade. Well, if you have $200, that's 2.5% that's getting eaten up straight away in transactional fees.
The assumption is that you're not trading such a small amount.
Exactly, and so that's the thing. If a lot of people, if a lot of people are interested in getting into any type of trading, with a small amount of money, just to experiment with, they can't at all. They're better off just using no money and just running those those fake accounts where you have $10,000 that's just funny money that has no actual value. It's just digital money, just to trial and error sort of type thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's that way, or you could, I don't know, trade on the alt market and you can put in small amounts of money. Like I see trades all the time that are worth $10, $20, and people they're making 10 or 20% on a small amount of money, and over time you get the compounding effect that can turn into a little bit, at least help generate a little bit of more money that you can invest into certain currencies that you want. Something like Hyper that gives you a good return, 5% a month, or I don't know, whatever. So it's fun to fuck around with.
But again, what I would rather do is
lose a lot of money.
Is purchase a bunch of put options on the S&P 500.
That would be a good call too, especially coming into this year.
Yeah, I was thinking about your buddy.
20 to 25% a year for the past 5 years. Okay.
It not just that, it fucking tripled from the 2009 low.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and you know what the 2009 low was? Like the actual number for the S&P 500?
I don't know what it was.
666.
Oh, that's beautiful. Illuminati.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's my pickaxe. Oh, nicely done.
No, it didn't work because the water just reloaded.
Oh no. It took a little bit out. There you go. Gotcha, bitch. Yeah, this is kind of tricky to do, managing all this water flow.
Yeah.
Because it keeps refilling itself.
You got to hit it at the right spots.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's read number 4.
Number 4. What are you good?
Let's see. So number 4 is honor. A true warrior has only one judge of honor, and this is himself. Decisions you make and how these decisions are carried out are a reflection of whom you truly are. You cannot hide from yourself.
And they will echo in eternity.
Well,
right? Can you add that in? Can you add that in?
And they will echo in eternity.
Thank you. Yes.
And they will echo in eternity. I guess so. Well, let's talk about the first half first, and then we'll.
Okay,
talk
can you
about
say it again? Because I was fighting a bunch of. Oh my God, they're everywhere. And I'm dying. Repeat. Number 4, please. Go on.
Honor. A true warrior has only one judge of honor, and this is himself. Decisions you make and how these decisions are carried out are a reflection of whom you truly are. You cannot hide from yourself.
Mm-hmm. Accountability.
Yeah. It just basically means you aren't, like, you don't become someone else temporarily and then do something shitty,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh well, back to being my honorable self.
It's a kind of related to it, but I don't know if you've ever noticed that there's some people that you're hanging out with them, and they act one way, and they get around one of their friends or something like that, and they turn into a completely different person. You ever notice that? And it's just now.
In a bad way?
Sort of, maybe, like, maybe not necessarily. Maybe they may become a little bit more of a douchebag or something like that. But I mean, I know it's not exactly what that number 4 was that you were just.
I think I know.
But
I know
it kind of relates. Like, I'm trying to relate a little bit, where that's just kind of what made me think about it. Where it's like, you should be you're responsible for your actions, and you're the judge of who you really are, right? Like, who your character is. Only you are responsible for that. Like, there should be no outside influences that control who you are and what you do with your actions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I kind of thought of that. I'm like, well, it's funny because, yeah, I definitely do remember meeting. I know some people off the top of my head that I could list where they act one way when they're just just alone, hanging out with you or whatever, and then when they get around certain people, they become a really different person. You're like, well, that's strange. And it kind of correlates with that, where they need to, they're not really responsible for who they are. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say here.
I have an example, actually.
Absorb all this water with sponges.
When I was in Ontario, I hung out with a couple, let's say, older people, because they could get booze and stuff.
Back when you were in a cute little LB, hey? Hanging out with the older guys.
Yeah, I would have been like 17 at that point. So.
Ooh, that's a ripe age.
Well, and these guys would have been 20. So.
Yeah.
So only 3 years, but they're buying booze. They're in college, so they had way more experience.
They were cool.
Yeah. So this one dude, so he'd be normal, with us, but if there was a girl in the room,
mm-hmm.
like an example was he was coming with a girl to this one party, and he showed up and he's like, "Sup, faggots."
Yeah.
Like you never, and he was like kind of slouching back and like doing like a duck face where he's like, oh, he's this cool
Sup,
guy.
guys? I'm the alpha.
Yeah, just because he was with the girl.
Yeah. Where regularly would never do that. Yeah.
No, and if there wasn't, I mean, even if there's a girl there, like, what's the point? But like, especially no point if he was just there by himself. Be like, "Sup, faggots." I was like, okay. So you're a dick. You're an idiot.
Okay, hi. Yeah, what? That's funny. Sup, faggots. Reminds me of my brother. You shouldn't say it too much because he might watch it and be like, "Man, why are you always hating on me?"
Well, wake up call.
Oh yeah, wake up call. I tell him sometimes, I'm like, "Man, you gotta listen to Joe Rogan." Like, there's some of those ones with like Duncan Trussell where they get
Into mushrooms.
really, into mushrooms and into spirituality and people being, be true to yourself and other people, and don't be a dick, don't be an asshole. And I'm like, you should watch this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. What do you think? I would probably think it's not cool to listen to that.
Maybe, I don't know. I think a lot of people should listen to some of that stuff. Because and I think the best reason is because I think Joe Rogan can kind of connect with a lot of those people, because he is kind of jockey himself too.
Yeah.
And he did come from that kind of, like he talks about it, where he was kind of a douchey kind of jockey person at some point, where he was just didn't really have full control of his emotions, and
Yep.
he would act certain ways and not really know why. It's just a reflection of, say, the environment he grew up in or whatever.
Yeah.
But is now at the point where it's like, listen, that shit's fucking stupid. It's not necessary. It's completely retarded. No one likes it.
It's a waste of time and energy for everybody.
Yeah, it's a complete waste of space. There's just no point to it at all.
Yeah. All right. Let's go on to the next one.
Word number 5.
So number 5 is compassion. Through intense training, the warrior becomes quick and strong. He is not as other men. He develops a power that must be used for the good of all. He has compassion. He helps his fellow man at every opportunity. If an opportunity does not arise, he goes out of his way to find one.
Mm-hmm. That's deep. A lot of people should listen to this and really put that on themselves. That one. How do you feel about it?
It's a good one. Hold on, I had some pop up.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it is. Oh.
You okay?
Yeah. I almost had pizza fall in my lap.
Way of the Warrior, featuring pizza.
That's right.
I think I think compassion is a pretty important one, just because it builds on community. You treat other people you really like your fellow man, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of lacking in today's society.
Yeah. That's funny. Those are like some of the things that, I mean, I understand religion. I understand how it can help people. I totally get that. I just don't accept that people should be so blinded by it, be very ignorant of any other information, because they're just so into what their religion is, and they just blindly kind of follow without asking any questions.
Yeah,
I don't really agree with it.
And they take it literally.
Yeah, and they take a lot of things way too literally. So I don't really agree with it in that aspect. But some of the fundamental values of it, like which is pretty much number five there, which treat, basically compassion. Treat someone as if it's yourself. Like how would you treat yourself? Oh my god, I'm getting raped by these fucking things right now. I cannot focus. Holy shit, I might be dying. I gotta get out of here. Okay.
Wow, there are a lot of them.
This is really messing with our speech.
Well, we can't really talk about the warrior code when we're like dying.
What kind of warriors are you? No. Yeah, so I was thinking of when I was talking about religion, I was like, okay, there are some fundamental values that I think I agree on, and I think everyone can agree with, which are things like that, where you treat everyone equally, or you treat everyone as you would yourself. Mm-hmm. Don't steal, don't kill, don't harm people. Treat people with respect. And
hey, do you have
there
two
is
sponges?
a lot of that. No, I only have one. I put one in the water. I haven't gotten it yet because I was getting raped.
Oh, okay.
So it's still over there somewhere.
Let's clear up this room here first, so it's not so slow going into the main room. but it's pretty tough because it like reloads
Yeah.
the water. It refills
I
pretty
just took
quickly,
some out.
dastardly.
Let me get this. Where that sponge player is.
Here, I'll take some of the bullets.
Fuck, I can't get
Just
it.
get it.
Mining. I'm getting it. I'm gonna die. I don't have any air. Almost.
I don't think you're getting it.
I am.
Oh, okay.
Why did that
Sorry.
take forever? That was weird. Whew. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Huh.
Okay, repeat number 5. Let's get a refresher here. That was some
through
traumatic
it.
experiences we just had there.
It's compassion. Through intense training, the warrior becomes quick and strong. He's not as other men. He develops a power that must be used for the good of all. He has compassion. He helps his fellow man at every opportunity. If an opportunity does not arise, he goes out of his way to find one.
Right. Yes. So again, with like religion, there's a lot of community in there, and they really help each other, and that's another aspect that I can understand could be very attractive and very alluring for certain people, where they don't have a big family. Say they feel like they're not a part of anything, and they don't have any community, where religion can bring that to a lot of people, and they have a lot of compassion too. And I mean, I'm primarily talking about Christianity, because that's of course what I've been around the most.
Yeah.
But they do also bring a lot of compassion, where they care for each other and take care of each other. And there's a lot of fundamentals that I completely agree with, and I think people, no matter what religion or what your beliefs are, those are just some kind of like fundamental truths of the universe that people should act by.
Yeah.
Where you just take care of each other and help, and at any point, I don't necessarily fully agree with the fact that you should always be looking to serve other people. I do believe that sometimes it's okay just to be a little bit selfish and to just do something to serve yourself, but at the same time, as long as you're not stomping on anyone's toes.
Yeah.
In the process. But
yeah.
I think for sure there's some times where you want to do something because you feel like you just want to take some time out and
you want to treat yourself.
Yeah, you want to treat yourself, and I think that's totally fine. I think it's totally sane. And if you don't do that, I think you could go insane. Which is
well, you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to live a life of like poverty just because
exactly.
you're like helping out.
You're like, no,
you're
but
never helping yourself.
Look how much
out.
compassion I have. Like I'm amazing. Then you're almost a martyr.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's always a catch there, but no, I agree with that. That's a good one. And that's another thing too that I've really changed my outlook, where I look at business, or I look at some things that I want to do, and a lot of times I know when I was younger, you kind of look at it like, okay, well, I want to make money. It's like, well, that's not the right way to look at it. You don't just look at, okay, how can I make money? Because if that's what your end goal is, then you're never going to get there, especially with that outlook. You need to be more focused on.
So you want to be a prostitute, basically, is what that.
Pretty much, that's pretty much what it is. You're doing whatever's required to make money. You're basically being a prostitute to whatever actions you choose to take.
Yeah.
For that specific outcome of money. Whereas instead, you should really, especially in business stuff, you should be looking at like, okay, how can I create something that better serves people? Like with the company that I've been working with, we've got a very different business plan than a lot of companies operate, because we can provide a way better service, and it helps a lot of people. It gives a lot more comfort to our clients. It's got a very good, it rewards people a lot more, and is a much more of a service than a product or something just to get a good return on, to get good margins or whatever. It's not that at all. It's something to be a service to people, and that's where business. I've definitely noticed that seems like that's where a lot of business is going to, though. Is that this old kind of corporate dynasty of better margins and better production and higher efficiency at whatever means necessary. That seems to be dying off quite a bit. Where
they're doing their best to keep it in, though.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, that's what they do, and that's what they're gonna always try and do. But I think the general consensus, especially with the information age, with people having
Whoops, sorry.
so much access to information, they can kind of root out those type of people where they see what, they can kind of read between the lines now with big corporate companies. They can see what they're doing and they say, like, you know what, that doesn't really align with some of my values, and I don't really want to support this company or whatever it is. Which again is the whole aspect of every time you make a purchase, you're bidding. You bid with your money.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Ow. Jesus. Or sorry, not bidding, but you're voting with your money. You're voting for this corporation to continue in its business. You're voting for that. So
on a related note, oh fuck, these guys are so far, and we might have to go in the other way to get this.
Try and collect my sponge.
Here, I'll sponge up this.
In related note, what was it?
One second.
Go on.
Let me also sponge up some.
Sponge. Give me a sponge bath. Is that what you were gonna say?
Yes.
Nice.
On a related note, speaking of like voting with your money, everyone's like McDonald's, for example. McDonald's is a cheap meal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's this like weird argument out there that says, oh well, families have to go to like McDonald's, some poorer families, because they can get like a family meal for like, they can get their entire family some burgers and fries and stuff
for less than,
for like $10, but and they're saving money, and it's also faster, right? Time is money.
Time is money.
When actually that food is so nutritionally devoid, it's that you have to eat much more than you would other food. Yeah. Because you're left hungry afterwards. And not only that, but if you consider the cost of healthcare, because you're eating a food that actually fucks you up. Yeah. You're actually not saving money in the long run. Yeah. You're actually you're actually spending money in the future, healthcare wise, by saving this quote unquote time and money right now.
Yeah. That's true. That's a very valid point. It's funny because I actually had this discussion. I was listening to a video about that where the person was discussing it. We're like, okay, well look, did
you get that sponge there? You got two now?
I got a dry one and a wet one.
Sweet.
Yeah. Oh, wet sponge. Fuck yeah. But no, I was listening to a conversation. I can't remember who it was or what it was, but it was on an exact topic, and the person was was basically debating on the side of, look, like this, you could have these poor families that are, say, the parents are, they're working 2 jobs, they're putting in 18-hour days, minimum wage. For them to come home or to go to the grocery store to get groceries, that's an hour, and then they got to get home and cook all the food and stuff, that's another hour. And so that time adds up where in 20 minutes they can go over to the local McDonald's or whatever, spend some money, and get their food. Yeah. And it is a valid argument because, again, like you said, time is money, and that's very true.
It's valid based on the premise that they're saving money. Yeah. Like, sure, it's cheaper,
but at the same time, my simple rebuttal is, listen, you could go to fucking any grocery store, any supermarket. You can buy a bulk bag of fucking white rice. Yeah. You can cook that shit, and that you can buy a bag. It takes 10 minutes to go buy a bag of it, and you don't have to buy another bag for 2 weeks. Yeah, exactly. And you can cook rice that will keep you filled and fed for a long time. Yes. Rice is 2/3 of the world's staple food. Yeah. So I'm sorry, but that's not relevant because if you're trying to cook a T-bone steak for your family every night, well, obviously that's going to be more expensive than McDonald's. Yeah, a T-bone steak. But if you're smart, and that's where another thing comes up is knowledge and proper education on nutrition. That is another thing that's not very present in today's educational system. Like I was never the only bits of nutrition or of class that you're going to get where it teaches you actually about food quality and stuff like that, would be in like a home economics class.
Yeah, and
But
even
just,
then, they don't really teach you anything.
oh, and not only
Teach you how
that,
to open up baking thing.
that course requires like those are like, you know, it's some of those extracurricular courses that you have to pay, like you have to pay an extra amount of, like, it's a mini tuition that you have to pay because the class doesn't produce a return, but you're consuming a lot of food. There's like, you know, you're using cookware.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have to pay, like every home economic class that I was in, you have to pay like, I don't know, it's like $50 or $40 for the semester.
Yeah.
So I mean, okay, you're you know, in an impoverished community, or you're in a poor family, and you guys can't, like, no, we can't spend $50 just so you can make food while you're at school. Like, again, it's another thing that a lot of people aren't privileged to get. So yeah, when it comes to proper nutrition and proper spending of money, when it comes to buying food and buying groceries for yourself or for your family, a lot of people don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yep.
So it probably is cheaper for them to go to McDonald's, and I can understand that.
Yeah.
There was do you see that article? There was that girl in UK. She was like a single mom, saying that the government her whole complaint is that the government isn't paying her enough to survive. She's like, oh, I need more money for food. And there's a photo of her standing in her kitchen with her cupboard doors open, and it's loaded with like Oreos and Lay's and chips and pop and like all this junk snack food.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing? Like,
bitch, what are you thinking?
Yeah, what are you doing? There's absolutely no nutritional value in that. It's expensive as fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
pop, you can just get water and save money on the pop.
And you're not killing yourself. There's no nutrition in pop. Like, it's just it's a sugar, it's a sweet, it's just fucking a little orgasm for your taste buds, and that's it. It doesn't serve you at all.
Basically, what we've determined is that any time people make these arguments, they're just idiots.
Yeah, they just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and people are.
I wouldn't call them idiots, but I would just say they're just not educated. They don't know.
Okay, let me pull up the definition of idiot, because you know what, I feel bad
Your
for using the
definition
word.
could be good. Your definition could be correct, though.
I feel bad for saying idiots. The more appropriate term would probably be they're brainwashed.
Yeah.
Like, one, they're brainwashed, but two, that's because from a young age they didn't have the proper education, and they've been eating, you know, some bad GMO foods that have actually been physically degenerating them.
That's true.
And they cannot now think at a higher level where they determine what's good, what's bad.
That is also very true. And it's funny, people don't really understand that, but food is fuel, and when you eat a crappy diet for a long time, there's a lot of these adverse side effects that you may not really notice, because it's just depleting either your intellect or whatever it is. It's just making you have less energy all the time. So, geez, I need energy drinks or whatever it may be.
Oh, but I love energy drinks.
I do too. They're delicious.
Oh shit! I gotta get the.
It's just really tasty pop. There's a lot of these.
Make sure you kill those guys, because I'm like trapped. I'm trapped in the water here.
Okay, one down. Oh god. Oh, I'm almost dead.
Die?
I'm almost dead. Okay, got him. Oof. All right.
Okay, let's go back to life.
Okay.
Let me read the next one. We've kind of been breaking.
This is an intense. Could you imagine if people are just like listening to the audio of this?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? Oh god, I'm dying. Oh no.
They know we're playing Minecraft.
Well, if they don't, we're playing Minecraft.
Complete sincerity. This is number 6. Complete sincerity.
Boost.
When a warrior has said he will perform an action, it is as good as done. Nothing will stop him from completing what he has said he will do. He does not have to quote-unquote give his word. He does not have to quote-unquote promise. For him, speaking and doing are the same actions.
Walking the talk, not talking the walk.
And not being flaky.
Yeah. Ooh, flakiness is not. That's why, like,
Victoria's pretty infamous for flaky people.
Oh,
I'll be the
not?
first to admit. Like, there's a lot of flaky people here.
Yeah.
But it's the chill island life is what it is.
True, but I think at the same time you need to be responsible for.
Yeah, exactly. We also have a society. We have a society of people not following their word, though. Yeah. Speaking of society.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that one's really important, because a lot like it's really important to keep your word these days. It's something that's not really followed up on.
Do you find you have difficulties with that at all? Like, do you ever find do you ever catch yourself where you're saying you'll do something and then you just get caught up or whatever, you forget, or anything like that? Like,
Yeah. Yes, because I'm not perfect. Like I'm not perfect, and sometimes, like, yes, it would happen, and life does happen. Like sometimes things go wrong, right?
yeah,
But at the same time, I make an effort to follow through.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, I found, excuse me, personally, I'd have, and I still do it. I'm definitely have not overcome this, but taking action for me has always been, a tough one. I'll like when I, well, like for say like, okay, I'm gonna do this, but then I just never do it. I just never take action. I say this is what we're gonna do, blah blah blah, but then I don't take action. I just never do it. So that's what I mean with, I've always had a bit of a struggle with that. And now I don't know if it's one of the reasons why, but I know in high school and just in school in general, I would never do homework. I would never take action to do my homework. I'd rather just, I mean, I guess that's a little bit more procrastination than actual,
Yeah.
doing what you say you will do, and
Yeah, unless you
acting on
look the teacher in the eye
I
and said,
promise I will
"I
do
promise."
this homework.
I don't think this is quite on the same level.
I promise I will not die. But at the same time, from that, I kind of have a hard time taking action on a lot of things.
From that, though, it could be. I wouldn't say it's from that.
I don't know if it's from that, or
It's probably it's related. Would be a better way. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it doesn't cause one and the other, but it's
Yeah.
related. They're both
Yeah.
caused by the same thing.
Yeah, I shouldn't say that's the cause, and that's what it is. So
Hey,
I'm not
shortcut.
responsible because
Yeah.
no. But yeah, especially with what I've been doing in the last few years, things can come up and I'm responsible for a lot of things with this business where someone doesn't show up for work. I have to drop what I'm doing, and because I'm responsible for all of this, so I have to suddenly drop what I'm doing and go deal with whatever the situation is with work or with the business. And it really sucks sometimes because as much like my personal life can have a lot of it can affect my personal life a lot of times where I'm trying to do something and then I suddenly have something come up with work that I have to now completely shift my plans or whatever I was planning to do, my commitments that I made to someone because of work, and it kind of sucks. So what I've done though to adjust it is that as much as I want to be true to my word, and as like it said, is when I say something,
Well, sometimes
it's as good as
it's
done.
impossible because, like you said,
Yeah.
things happen, and it's like
Yes.
it's not under your control. Is
Yeah.
the difference.
And so what I do because of that, one of the things that I hate the most is breaking a promise. If I tell someone I promise that I'm going to do something, that's big to me. And the whole thing I know with that number 6 there was saying that you don't have to promise because what you say is truth. However, with me, like I said, where things can come up randomly, spontaneously that I have no control over, but I'm committed to those, so I have to take action on it. So I do use promises where I say okay, if someone's asking for me to do something, I'm like, well, okay, I cannot promise you that I will be there at this time or whatever it is, that I can do this for you. I
You're
cannot
letting them
promise
know
you.
that something might happen, but
Exactly.
but if nothing happens, then you're going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And so I do that a lot just because of the nature of what
I think
I'm involved with. That I feel like I have to do that because I want to stay true to my word, and I do want to be the type of person where if I say I'm going to do something, people know that he's going to do it.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of times one it's related is that people look for excuses to get them out of whatever they were planned on doing before.
yeah,
Like, for example, one of my close friends had a bad habit of whenever we're out doing something, he had this bread machine that he would you kind of have to set the bread machine, but you have to be there to pull out the bread and do whatever.
Yeah.
So he's pretty much trapped at home for 2 hours when he's like making the bread, right?
Hmm.
And so it's like, hey, remember that thing that we wanted to do last week? Let's go do it now later today. He's like, oh, sorry, I'm making bread. Like, really, you have to make bread in exchange for this? Like, one, you don't have to make bread, and two, we've never done this thing before, so you're exchanging your mundane daily task of making bread for this cool thing that we've never done before.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people like like that's their cop out, is they find something else to cop out with.
Yeah.
I guess really it's not even like a reason. It's just the same as not having a reason. It's just a cop out.
Yeah. Yeah. But then again, that's kind of different. Having a cop out versus saying you're going to do something and then not actually doing it. It's kind of. I know what you're saying. It's a little. It's a little off.
Off.
It's a little off. Yeah, it's just a little off.
There's something wrong about this guy.
It's a little off. I don't know. No, I'm just saying it's not. It's not the exact same thing, I guess, as saying you're going to do something and then not doing it versus being asked if you want to do something and using a cop out, using some mechanism to get out of something.
I think
You know what I mean?
I think what I'm remembering is that they would use that as a cop out for like a lot of things. Like, oh, actually, something came up and I have to make bread.
Something came up and I gotta make bread. Oh, okay. So I see what you're saying. Yeah. So yeah, when they would say, let's go do this next week. Hey,
Like-
you ready to go next week? Oh no, I can't anymore. I gotta make bread.
Like, okay, so let me use it
That's
like this.
the
Like,
lamest. That's like the. I mean, that's cool that you got like a bread maker at home
Yeah.
and he gets to make his own fresh bread. That's pretty cool. But just the fact that it's like, no, I gotta make bread. Like, really? You're gonna die if you don't have bread? Like, fuck. That's pretty funny.
he stopped doing that
He stopped bread making.
shortly.
Was it interfering with too many of his relationships with people? Listen, Jack, or whatever your name is, we got to talk to you about your bread making. It's really interfering.
Would
with our
you say
relationship.
that your former roommate K.A. had a problem with let's say
Video games.
really video games?
Sure, the world of Warcraft. You had a problem with the world of Warcraft. Sorry, no. What were you gonna say? Well, that
I mean,
yes.
with
but what were you
with
gonna
this
say?
with sincerity and like his word and stuff. I'm just thinking about
Yeah.
the quote unquote breakup of the house.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I honestly, I can't speak for him, but that was fucking retarded. Basically. So for anyone who doesn't know, which would be a lot of people, this is the situation. We were renting out a condo. It's basically like a townhouse. There was 4 people. One of them hadn't been working. He worked 1 month for the entire year that we were renting the place. It was on like month 10. We were in the 9th month, and we're like, okay, listen, K we'll just call him K.
And
He's going to be
just-
Agent K.
Just for everyone's record, we're not saying K as in OK. We're saying
We'll say
Sir
K.A.
K.
for Sir K. A.
Yeah.
Is his initials. Anyways, K.A., listen, like, you haven't worked. You don't seem to be really happy, living here. We have a friend who's moving to this town.
JB.
And this was FM. Oh, this was Fred, the podcast Fred, yeah. And he's moving to town, and he's looking for a place to stay. You can bow out of your agreement, and
we made a dent in this water.
We did, yeah. You can bow out of your agreement, and no hard feelings. We totally understand. We'll get Fred to come in and take over. He goes, no. I like it here. I really want to stay. I'm going to stay for the next 2 months. We're like, okay, are you sure? Because like it's no problem. Like we can make this happen. You can move back home. It's no worries, right? Like it's
Yeah.
totally fine. And then He says, no, I want to stay. So like, okay, well, fine, fair enough, you'll stay, no worries. 2 weeks later, Fred has now found a place. And KA decides, oh, okay, guys, I'm going to move back home.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
what the fuck? You don't
how big
fucking
of a
do that.
inconvenience was that?
Yeah, fuck you. So now...
Was it, though? Because I don't know much about how...
Overall, no. He had paid for that month, and he left 2 weeks into it. And then my buddy Jamie ended up moving in with us, so he took it over.
Notice, pretty much.
Yeah, it all, the stars aligned, and we were fine. It didn't cost us anything. But at the same time, fuck you. Like why? Like, that's retarded. Who does that? That's just completely stupid. It was a very douchey thing for him to do. When we gave him this complete, total, like, hey, don't worry about it. Like, it's fine. We've got someone else. You don't have to worry about anything. You can just go back home. No, I'm fine. I want to stay. And then 2 weeks later, he decides to leave. It's like, man, I lost a lot of respect for that person. A lot of respect, because that basically put an extra, I think I was working in town then and upgrading. I think I was working back up north by then. So okay, I was fine financially, but then there's two other guys that were living with us that were both in school, and so they're in university. They're on a tight budget as is, and then suddenly
AP and DF.
Yep, and then suddenly, they have an extra few $100s added to their monthly rent if we don't get anyone else to come in.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, man, you just fucking screwed over all three of us. Yeah, that you've been living with for the last 8 months.
Did anyone ever find out like what his deal was, like why that happened?
No,
or did you guys just
idea.
stop talking?
Honestly, I haven't talked to him since then. He dropped off the face of the earth. I'm not going to hold it against him. I mean, whatever, he was dealing with some whatever crap he was, and fair enough. I always give people more chances than they usually deserve a lot of times. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know, I just haven't talked to him. He's dropped off the face of the earth. I don't know how to communicate with him at all, so oh well.
Yeah.
Oh well. But yeah, stay true to your word, people.
I think
if you're gonna say you're gonna do something, just do it, or put that little disclaimer that I put out there sometimes, because I have a lot of other more serious commitments.
You wouldn't have been able to put a disclaimer on that type of situation, though.
No, that was just bullshit.
Like, I'm gonna stay, but if something comes up, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, no, that was just a bullshit situation. So
I think when you were saying you won't hold it against them, I think that's part of the warrior code. Is you are, part of that compassion thing is you have enough heart to forgive somebody.
Yeah.
Not hold it against them.
Well, I do, because I mean, I know times can be random, and times you can suddenly be dealing with a really shitty situation in your life that you may not have had any control over. Something could just happen that is not a great situation, and I totally understand that it can happen. But when you start to abuse someone's forgiveness, that's when it's like, fuck you.
That's really negative.
That's when you're a piece of shit. There's a fine line between
being a warrior and a piece of shit.
Needing forgiveness and abusing forgiveness.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's a fine line between that, and
not being sexist, but actually, you know what? I was gonna say a lot of girls do that, but you know what? A lot of boys do it. Like, it's not gender discriminatory, but everyone does it.
Yeah.
But girls do that with their boyfriends and stuff. Like girls who use their boyfriends.
Girls who use their boyfriends. Yeah.
But
wait, in which sense?
Of just like, oops, I slept with somebody. I fell on his dick.
What, did you trip, slip, fell on his dick?
All right, let's move on to number 7.
Yes.
And then we'll have last one, and then we'll cut this off before we get to 2 hours. This is the longest podcast ever.
How long has this been going on for?
We're probably at 1 hour and 15 minutes now.
Right on. Cool. All right, let's keep going.
So number 7, duty and loyalty. For the warrior, having done something or said something.
I'll give you some duty.
You want me to read this?
Did you not hear that? Okay, yes. Sorry, read it.
What?
I had that built up. I'm sorry, people. I had to pass gas. Break wind.
Well, we got to do that to stay in
it's true.
warrior shape.
Exactly. That's a warrior exercise. I don't know about that, but okay. Number 7.
Duty and loyalty. For the warrior, having done something or said something, he knows he owns that thing. He is responsible for it and all the consequences that follow. A warrior is immensely loyal to those in his care. To those he is responsible for, he remains fiercely true. I guess that just follows up on the being sincerity and being true to your word.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it just explains it in the shape that
And also taking ownership too.
yeah, it's not just like a thing that you say and then it's like it's disappeared into the ether. It's like you are now. It's now like a thing that exists in the world.
Yeah. I don't really have much to comment on that one. That's pretty.
We've we've been breaking it down pretty well with
with all the other ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
I concur.
And so the last one is number 8, trust. A warrior trusts as he is trusted. He holds this in high regard and would never violate its sanctity. To do so would forever dishonor him. Whoever breaks his trust shall never regain it.
What? Say that one more time.
Let me just sponge something real quick.
Sponge bath. Sponge away, oh mighty sponger. Smite me, oh mighty smiter! It's good. It's good.
Are we introducing a guest to the podcast?
We're not introducing a guest to the podcast. Anyways.
All right, so let me read it one more time. A warrior trusts as he is trusted. He holds this in high regard and will never violate its sanctity. To do so would forever dishonor him. Whoever breaks his trust shall never regain it.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly. That's exactly what we were talking about with number 6 there when I was saying, if I have compassion for someone when they say if they don't show up for work or something happens and they can't make the arrangement. And I say, okay, well, what was the situation? And I will trust that that's true. If I find out otherwise and I find out that someone's lying to my face, you break, like, that is an important bond that you just severed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like, again, in a few years from now, I could then still go back and forgive someone and give them another chance.
Yeah.
And I've done that before.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's been fine. And I've done that, and the person has corrected their errors. They've made up for the problems that they caused, or whatever the situation was, and they're a better person. And again, kind of what I was talking about before, where it leads to, there may be some things going on in someone's life where, they're in a tough situation, and yeah, there's still responsibility for, everyone's responsible for their actions. But at the same time, there may be elements that are completely out of their control, or just certain things that are going on that creates a really big challenge for the person to overcome. So you can't always hold it 100% over their head for the rest of their life. But
yeah,
I mean,
hey, remember that time in 3rd grade when you made fun of my mom?
I didn't know you in 3rd grade, so no.
No, that's.
Or you're just saying, for example.
That's what you say to somebody, like you're now adults, and you're like, hey, remember that?
Oh, I did pick up that sponge. Okay. You got a sponge on you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Good. We don't want to lose any of these sponges.
No, these are important. I wish we had more.
Yeah, apparently sometimes an ocean monument can spawn with a room full of sponges.
Cool.
I haven't found that in this one yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's still somewhere. I mean, if we're only finding the central place now.
Yeah, that's true. There's probably a lot more to discover with these sponges. Yeah. That was number 8. That was the last one.
Yeah.
Right on. Cool. Well, that was. Can you? I want you to send me that link so I can put it in the comment or in the description of this video as well. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna kind of bookmark that and read through it as well. It's pretty interesting stuff. So that was good. That was like a full episode just on that little
life
there. On life, man. Yeah, man.
I know the feels.
I know the feels, bruh. Cool. All right. Well, I guess we can wrap it up there then.
Yeah.
Fun time, and
literally.
It was literally a fun time with the Fun Time Podcast. Damn, we go crazy. Cool. Yeah, that was awesome. Tune in next week. I was gonna also ask you if you want to schedule at least one day a week, where I can commit it to doing a podcast and some extra things or whatever. And
Hey, by the way, don't break this. This is this way. Oh, actually, just break it to see what's beyond. But then we got to fill it up again. This
it's
is the
water.
It's the main entrance. You see what's beyond it.
Do you see? Yeah, let me stick my face in the water. Oh yeah, okay. That like glowing.
The little
Made
entrance.
that weird noise too. That like whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what times work best for you? Because honestly, like I'm pretty easy when I'm not working, which is literally 8 to 4:30.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was thinking like a weekday, like Wednesday or something like that in the evenings. I don't know. We can figure it out.
Yeah,
Slap
sounds
you.
good to me.
Right on. Cool. All right. Well, we'll stop the recording there, and yeah, come on back for the next episode.
Drop the sponges so I can.
Drop the bass. Okay.
Drop the sponges.
See you guys later.
Drop
Bye.
the fucking sponges.